Well, the Panthers have been going for about 8 years now, and right off the mark we knew that we needed a pitching machine. A lot of the other clubs were getting them, and it's not so much a status symbol as a useful item in the club.
Well, it saves my arm. If they rely on the pitcher to actually throw the balls down all the time, it could tire me, basically. I can get injured very easily. But also, the pitching machine is certainly more accurate because the ball is certainly going in the same spot all the time. And from a batter's point of view, you know it's going to go over the plate and you can always swing for it, basically.
You can actually get about an hour's worth of batting in 20 minutes with a pitching machine. So you work on the inaccuracies of a guy actually throwing, and you're there a long time waiting for a strike. But with a machine, you know it's going to be there on the money every time.
The problem with human beings is they make mistakes every now and again. You might miss the ball or your arm starts to get sore and you can't get it across the plate. But with this machine, it's consistent all the time. The balls are all coming down exactly where you want them. Although, of course, you can vary them if you wish. Most machines I've seen are ugly-looking things, those sort of big wheels and lumps, but I find this one pleasant to look at. It's almost a space-age thing, really. People come up and say, when's it going to take off? It's very simple to set up. You don't need screwdrivers and spanners. It's just a slot-in sort of job. One person, in fact, could do it on their own. I did it quite recently myself. Connects it all together. It took about, 5 minutes at the outside.
When you've got a big machine, like a heavy American machine, one that's built to be left in situ and not lugged around, then you tend not to use that. A lot of clubs in the early days went out and bought American machines and found that because of the portability problem, it just wasn't as versatile as they thought. But now, with the battery-powered machines and the fact that it's light and there's a lot of use of composite materials, you can just pick the thing up, stick it under your arm, and you're away.
This machine is quite handy. You can fit it in a box. You know, it's quite easy to set up and everything else. You know, and it definitely benefits the team by using a pitching machine. And if it's handy to move around, you're more likely to use a machine like this than you are the old-fashioned heavy type ones. You know.
Of the pitching machines that I've used in England and throughout Europe, the BOLA machine I find has a greater versatility of pitches. It can throw curveballs, change-ups, fastballs, sliders, and by practicing on this machine I've increased my hitting power and my timing. By setting the machine up to throw down different pitches, it's more like game time batting for me, whereas some batting machines I've used I throw down a straight fastball all the time.
Yeah, you can do curveballs with it, sinker balls, you know, every sort of pitch you can think of really, you know. Screw balls, which you don't very often see in this country, but, you know. Yeah, it's a very good machine. Vary the speed to what speed you like.
It's certainly an advantage to actually increase the speed because on a pitcher you can only throw the ball as fast as you can, but on the machine you can certainly increase it to whatever level. So if you know you've got a game next week and you know that the pitcher's quite fast, if you put the machine at his speed, at least you get used to it. Whereas the pitcher on that particular team, or on your own team, shall I say, can't pitch it that fast, then you're not getting enough practice. Whereas on the machine, you can actually put it to his speed or even faster. And as I say, it certainly saves the pitcher's arm. But then also you can use a curveball on the machine, so the actual ball has a movement, and it's a good practice because that's what pitchers actually use in a game.
Coming down.
From a catching point of view, it's very good, the pitching machine, because you can get very consistent inside pitches and outside pitches. and it's also a good training for throwing people out of base.
The batting aspect of the machine is just one part of it, really. We put it on the mound and use it with a catcher, practicing throws to second. And it's a totally versatile ball throwing facility, basically. It's not so much a pitching machine when you start to look at all the other things you can do with it. It's got an automatic feed, so you can actually use it on your own. You can go to a diamond with complete safety, load the thing up. If you're a catcher or a batter, you can practice in a cage or on a diamond and just use the thing all day.
You can also use it for fielding practices, fly balls, grounders, whatever, you know. It's a versatile machine.
The machine's got varied use throughout the game of baseball, not just through pitching and hitting, but also fielding. You can set it up to field, so you can field ground balls off it, and of course you can vary the speed, the height, the pitch, so you can create any game time play and experience through this machine.
And likewise for the fly ball, if somebody's swinging with a bat, every now and again they miss a couple. The guys out there are getting fed up, but with this one you just keep feeding them in as fast as you want to and they're flying the balls out, and you've got the continual run of activity.
We couldn't afford to have something, a machine where somebody could get injured on. So the fact that it was enclosed and all wrapped up, it was battery powered, low voltage, no wires to trip over, no plugs to get wet or anything like that. The whole recipe was just one of ease of use, safety, versatility. It basically had everything we wanted wrapped up into one neat package.
Out of balls.